Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here with you today, back with another intermediate player guide video, and this one being 1 second matters. Every second matters, and if players in the game tell you that 1 second doesn't matter in this game, well, they've not had a true World of Warships experience, because in this game, every second counts. It can come down to the wire. I've had many games come down to the wire, and this battle is going to be one of those that comes down to the wire, the difference between a win or a loss. So I'm not going to spoil it, but you have to see how it goes. So let's talk about some things with that, but first I do want to just briefly talk about the Sherman. This is the first time I've actually ever showed Sherman on the channel. I'm still figuring the ship out. I do not take concealment on the commander, which is 7.2. If I took concealment on the commander, it would be like 6.5, I think it is. So I'm still feeling things out. I don't have Fearless Brawler. I've gone for the range, 4-point range. We've got the, I don't know, they changed the name. It used to be called, I think, Basic Fire Training, BFT, and gives you slightly faster reload. So the ship starts off with a 1.5 second reload. We had the ship down to 1.25, 25 second reload. And if you are able to activate Fearless Brawler, if you have it, then you're down to 1.13 seconds. And then that's not even taking Adrenaline Rush into account. So the Sherman is, she's for coal, 232,000 coal in the armory. And she is the purest of pure gunboats. She's really the only pure American gunboat, destroyer boat in the U.S. branch. As far as I can remember off the top of my head, unless there's some ship I'm just like super forgetting, but I don't think that's the case. But she is this special premium destroyer. And it was built, this is a post-World War II ship, where basically the ship focuses on gunfights, AA, and really good depth charge, ASW, anti-submarine warfare. Ooh, they lost a hat day. So the Sherman is a very fun boat. She's pretty consumable. Slightly, I mean, you can see that we have a lot of options on the bottom. You know, besides the damage control party, you have smoke, you have the hydro, and you have defensive AA. Here I'm set up because I thought the sub was around here somewhere, and indeed he was. And one of the things that really annoys me is when submarines go up the mid. So that was one of the reasons why I was specifically sitting here, is I'm trying to help my clanmate Doom out with some combat missions he was working on. So I just felt like taking out the Sherman because we were seeing a lot of subs. You know, in this battle we have 2 submarines, and there's was 3 destroyers, now 2 destroyers. So this pure gunboat, you can build for stealth, but I don't like building for stealth. I initially did, but then I was like, I feel like the ship can give me more if I just sacrifice some concealment. So I sacrificed concealment, but I do want priority target just to kind of give me a heads up of what's happening. In exchange, I guess, at least for that. So I will eventually do an upgrade commander build video highlight on the ship, just not yet because I don't have the Sherman fully figured out, so I want to have the ship figured out. But anyhow, back to the topic of the video after just a very brief introduction of this ship. Every second matters. There are so many little things that you can do in this game that can, I mean, of course, throw a game, lose a game, or win a game. But when it comes to the discussion of playing for, you know, every second that counts, right? It's just massive. All these different things you can do. So hopefully I can talk through some of those things as they come on. I avoided Bravo cap. This one might come to bite us in the butt later. We'll see. I avoided at first because I'm not this stealthy 5.5 kilometer destroyer that can just sneak in here. But when I realized they ignored it, we waited to see if anyone else was going to take B. No one did. So we decided, well, we're going to take the cap. Now I really want to take start shooting this Havrosk. Tier 10 used to be the tech tree, tier 10 tech tree Russian destroyers, but it's since been moved into the armory for coal. I like it, it's a good ship. I want to open up on him, but it's more important for me to flip the cap. So here's another decision of a 1 second difference matter, right? If I get reset and not able to tick points for our team, so now our team is finally ticking points because we don't own A, though our presence is quite strong at A right now. Now, so going over here, we need to see what's happening. So there's a Fletcher over here, there's a submarine over here, a Petropavlovsk, there's a Schlieffen, and also a Montana. So of course the sub and Fletcher are both going to out-detect me, and I'm pretty sure right now it's the Fletcher that's spotting me, communicating, pinging on the map, and we're dark. So it tells me that that destroyer's probably gone behind the island now. He's popped out again, so I'm pretty sure he's not too far away. And I want to conserve the health because I'm pretty sure that the enemy Immelman wanted to come drop us. So I was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. So we just go ahead and we smoke up. We have Hydra up. We've caught the torpedoes that Fletcher fired. And now we get to start shooting on the Schlieffen, and because we've gone further range, that's helped us a lot. Now this Fletcher just gave himself away. He's told me exactly where he is, even though, of course, I've not seen him, but we saw his shell tracers. So I'm going to ping the map, say he's down there somewhere, and I'm going to go ahead and reverse out of the smoke screen. We've got the sap loaded. So if we catch him out, we've got 2 of our 3 turrets. So you only get 3 turrets on the Sherman if you're not familiar with the ship. But he's about to slip away right into the darkness. And some of our random torpedoes we fired, we actually get a hit. So that's cool. I'll talk about that maybe in a minute. And now here's the Havrosk. So the Havrosk is decided to step onto the cap. But we do have A now. So we do have 1 cap at least ticking points, even now Bravo's being contested. Now the advantage here is this is a really good situation when you're in the Sherman, when you're in smoke and you have Hydro. Now you can see how many shells we're flinging at him, though we're really struggling to land some because they just shatter on his hull. So we're trying to get up high, more into his superstructure per se, with the angle. But a 2-on-1 destroyer engagement doesn't really favor us, so then I'm going to simply choose to disengage here. And I don't want the Fletcher to think he can just get away scot-free for giving us a difficult time. So he's going to smoke up, which is phenomenal. And now we go dark. And we're angled away in the Havrosk was firing AP, so that's good. Now, this situation, as much as I want to keep fighting for Bravo, you know, we lost almost 2/3 of our health, and I don't feel comfortable because I'm the furthest ship to the east outside of our CV. We're down 5 ships to their 4, and I feel at this point it's just more important for me to live than to throw my ship away. Now granted, I'm going to go ahead and try to be cheeky, see if I can't get a reset on the Havrosk, because I've opened up the range, and I feel like if he does fire at me, I can just simply bounce and avoid it. That I'm fighting to add another second, right? So that's just an example right there. Defended ribbons, trying to get some resets to slow their cap progress. We were trying to do that here, so that we could buy some more time before the enemy team started ticking up 2 caps, because enemy team is ahead by less than 100 points, and we do take a little bit of chip damage there, and we have our defensive AA, and that's just going to force the Immelman away, which is great for us. Now the other thing is the enemy submarine. That's kind of another reason why I've come up here. So if Josh, my Gnome EU clan commander, watches this, I give him grief. He likes playing CVs, and I hate CVs. And yesterday's video, if you saw that, we had fun in wrecking a CV and his planes. But in this battle, I'm actually trying to defend our CV and a Nakamov of all things, right? So CVs going for him. We got a Montana and Schlieffen approaching him. I'm sure the Salmon is much closer, the Tier 8 American submarine. He's probably out in front of the Montana and the Schlieffen. So we're going to kind of put ourselves between us and the Nakhimov against enemy ships, as the Hoveros does not like us. So one of the things we get to do here, that's fun with the Sherman, is because we built for range, we get to open up here with a 15.1 kilometer range, and we're trying to set a fire on the Montana right now. And he's not interested in shooting us right now. We get the fire set. Now, let's switch to the Schlieffen. This is what you do in gunboats. You're trying to set fires on multiple targets, and it looks like we got 2 fires set there on the Montana. And he's DCP'd since then, so none of these shells will start a fire yet. Now, the sub is ruining our fun. So we've been pinged. So we're about to use hydro here in just a moment, because I don't expect torpedoes being here just yet. I'm going to ping the map. I'm going to tell my CV friend where the sub is. Give him a good idea. So we go ahead and we DCP the ping, and we do finally catch him out with our hydro. So we're going to get a few hits in here, and fire set. So very quickly you can see, before he even got down to the depth where he could avoid any more damage from us, we've got 10 pins. So we've helped out in at least being able to shorten his health pool, right? Now I feel kind of uncomfortable sitting here in the smoke screen. If this sub, I've been shotgunned by subs, okay? It's a thing, happens in the game, wargaming. It's not a thing. So I want to back off a little bit here. Our CV, Epic, he dropped fighters. And now we have an issue. The Hoveros has gone for the ACAP. So this is now, we're losing, again, more precious seconds. If this comes, it's coming down to a points game and how the battle is progressing. Although most of our team, of course, is down on the GHI line. So I'm pretty sure Montana's going to run towards Bravo, so I try to dump those a little bit ahead, but I probably should have dumped them a little bit more further up. So we'll see if any of those land or not. So the Brest is actually going to be a bit annoying in this game. He's pinging the map about where the sub is. We don't know where the sub is. He's gone under. I've gone up north here to check to see if he's going to resurface up here. And now that the Schlieffen is behind the island, we're going to open up on Monty. So we're going to see if we can get some fire set. One of the things I'm being very mindful of with the Schlieffen is his 12.5 kilometer secondaries. And we just simply juke the salvo. We start slowing down just as he fired. So that's something you're constantly doing here with your gunboat DDs. Now these torpedoes do have 16.5 kilometers, so we do definitely have the range. But now we're going to switch over to the Schlieffen. Our Nakhimov takes out the enemy CV, which is great. So that's some points that's going to buy us some time. So that's another little thing, just getting the kill to help buy you some time. Minimize that player's impact. We do get a fire set on Schlieffen there. And the Montana is about to leave range. And this is going to be very helpful for me because I want to know if I'm still detected. I'm still detected. Montana's outside of our main battery firing range. So that tells me the sub is probably somewhere around on the surface. We're still chilling out, moving around here. You can see the CV still kind of flying generally over this area to see if he might pick him up. Schlieffen has come back. And I do fear Schlieffen secondaries. I know what the Schlieffen secondaries are very capable of. Granted, he's focused on the Poison right now. So I'm debating, do I use my last smoke screen here? And I go ahead and I end up utilizing it. If I were to pay attention to the minimap a little more, I would have saw that the Nakhimov was bringing that rocket strike, and you know he was going to melt pretty quickly under the Poison's secondaries. So we come out, we're not detected, and I'm firing, I'm fishing for the sub, and can't find him. I'm trying, and this is one of those, another decision in the game that's actually going to make a big impact at the end of this battle. I'm trying to find the sub. I've spent most of my time up here hunting for the sub, and we're just not having any luck. So he's either under right now, or he could be up behind our smoke screen. So one of those two, we're not sure. But I feel I've wasted too much time as a destroyer player, being up here to the north trying to hunt the submarine. I'm gonna just start sailing back south because the points are mattering. So Montana goes down, but enemy team is still ahead to the 2 ships. So this is a we need caps like yesterday or kill all. And so for me, I'm saying we need to cap. And I'm telling my CV, I'm not spotted CV when I shoot, so he is not on the surface nearby. But then he pings back behind the smoke. I don't actually know if that was the CV who pings behind the smoke. But a CV has automated anti-submarine warfare. So I'm not really too concerned about the Nakhimov, because this Nakhimov has displayed, yeah, it is the Nakhimov who was pinging. He's shown smarts and how to deal with the submarine. He's not going to run away broadside to the sub. He's actually pushing in because he has the idea that he knows where the sub is. Great. And the only way the sub's going to win this engagement if he surfaces at the right time and gets a shotgun torpedoes off into the Nakhimov. But if the Nakhimov's pushing in nose in, bow into him, then that's not going to be good. And you can already see teammates are giving up. Teammates are giving up. We've lost. It's over. Frustration. Now I'm a little salty with the Brest because he's got the speed to go and assist in flipping Bravo. Because if he would have kept sailing towards Bravo, he's going to get to B before the Holland or myself would have gotten to B. Because I believe that the game is that close. That we need B as soon as possible. And I don't believe, and see, again, we already lost. So I'm really salty with the Brest because he's gone north when we really needed to get B instead. So we're gonna go on B. Now, there's the sub, so great stuff. So now another thing that matters here, right? Every second matters. Holland's flipping, and as soon as I get on the cap, we're gonna flip the cap that much quicker. Okay, that's really huge, really important. So Holland's on the cap. He's been playing a fantastic game. He's been doing really well. And now we get the cap in 22 seconds. CV's being really helpful in trying to find out where, as we watch the sub about to die. CV has been really helpful across spotting across the map, which is great. He's caused the Sherman to smoke up. And I'm going to ask the Holland to get back behind me, because if he dies, it's a definite lose. We're almost a minute into the game being over. We're not going to be able to get to Bravo in time. And I tell Holland, we need you alive. Again, we had this depressing guy in chat. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Like, so, a little frustrated with that, because we do need Holland alive. And we don't want the Fletcher, if he thinks that he needs to get a kill, to just turn around and come back north. So you can see the points is about 25-ish points, close, 40 seconds away. 2 caps ticking to our advantage. I have Hydro running, so if Fletcher gets any torpedoes off, we're gonna know, right? But we still don't have time to get to sea. And people are panicking, right? This is how close. This is, I mean, it was a little frustrating at the end, but it was a very, it's satisfying to have a game, win or lose, that you're just this close. Okay, he's coming back towards us, right? That's why we told Holland to get back. CV's about to spot him. 891, 899, 897, 899, 902, 897, 903, game. Every second matters. As I was watching that clock, so we weren't getting many hits there at the end against the Fletcher, because I was like, I think we can do it, and we did it, right? So that's a win. you have to understand in a game like World of Warships, every second matters, okay? One of the things I didn't actually say, as you're just gonna see post-battle results go back to your screen, I see players, destroyer players do this all the time when a cap matters, like when we're sailing towards B. There's no enemy ships around, but they're constantly touching their rudder. When you touch your rudder constantly, when you need to get to an objective zone and there's no enemy threats around you, you bleed speed. You waste valuable seconds in trying to get to that cap because you keep sailing, keep pressing your A key, your D key, sailing back and forth. You bleed off your speed. And so that means you're going to get into the cap later. You're going to flip the cap later because you don't touch your rudder. Just sail a straight line, get to the nearest entry point of that cap and flip it. Okay, that's what we were actually trying to do there. And they got to make 1 or 2 adjustments, but I mean, I'm talking about destroyer players who touch their rudder 10-15 times. When there's no enemy ships around, there's no need for them to do so. There's no torpedo threats, anything like that. I've lost games because of that. I'm not joking you. I have lost a couple of games because of destroyer players touching their rudders shift, bleeding off speed, and being in the same type of situation in losing the battle, right? If Holland would have gotten to that cap any later, we would have lost the game. Now you can flip this around and say at the beginning, if I would have stepped on Bravo sooner in the battle, that would have given us a bit of a leg up. Now, granted, we didn't know that there was no destroyers were going to go for Bravo, but we went ahead and flipped it when we knew that we could, right? We tried to fight it, but we had 2 destroyers pushing us, and that's just not ideal. And we felt like we need our points of our ship because I felt like this was going to turn into a points game. The enemy team was throwing in the end, yes, but it was becoming a points game. And so when it comes down to like that, you got to play for the caps, you got to play for the objectives, and you got to get those kills to flip it back into your favor. Even though we didn't get the Fletcher killed, we got the most important ships killed when it mattered, especially getting that sub kill at the end, because I know that sub had to be running really low in his dive capacity. I didn't actually look at the end there. So it's just that close, right? So when you're going from a beginner to an intermediate player to intermediate to a veteran player in the game, you have to understand every second matters in the game. No Unicum or Super Unicum player will tell you that seconds don't matter. They will be, yes. Good players, really good players in this game will tell you every second matters. A half second, a split second matters, as we have a bunch of explosions go off. So, I'm going to stop there. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you subscribe, thanks so much. I appreciate it, as we're almost to 1,500 subscribers, and we're going to do this big Twitch streaming day on NA server, and then another Twitch stream on the EU server. I'm going to division up with you guys. We're going to play ops together. So if you want to see that happen, please consider hitting the subscribe button. So until next time, take care.